Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we will explore the parable of the houses on the rock and sand, Matthew 7:24-27, which highlights the importance of building our lives on a solid foundation. Jesus uses the metaphor of a house on the rock versus one on the sand to show the difference between practicing his teachings and merely hearing them. We will also examine how these principles of preparation and resilience are reflected in the cultural practices of African communities. Stay tuned to learn how to establish a firm foundation to face life's challenges. Call to action. Hello, dear viewer. If you're enjoying the content, please give a like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with all the latest news and stories we have prepared for you. Foundations of Faith and Culture, exploring the parable of the houses and African wisdom. Biblical context. The parable of the houses on the rock and sand in Matthew 7:24-27 uses the metaphor of houses built on rock or sand to illustrate the importance of a solid foundation in spiritual and practical life. The house on the rock represents those who practice Jesus' teachings and remain firm in the face of adversity, while the house on the sand symbolizes those who hear but do not act and are vulnerable to difficulties. Relevance in current African cultures. Collective construction and resilience. In African communities, construction is often a collective activity that reflects solidarity and cooperation. Similar to the parable, house construction in regions like West Africa, among the Hausa and Yoruba peoples, employs traditional techniques to ensure durability and climate resistance, reflecting the biblical idea of a solid and reliable foundation. Spiritual and practical foundations. The parable emphasizes the importance of building on the rock to face adversities. In many African cultures, integrating spiritual practices with practical aspects of daily life is fundamental. Rituals and ceremonies are conducted to ensure protection and success in community endeavors. These practices reflect a belief in spiritual foundations that support prosperity and security, aligning with the biblical idea of a solid life based on spiritual principles. Community protection and preparation. The story of the house of shelter and the parable of the houses on the rock and sand share the theme of preparation for adversity. In many African cultures, preparing for natural disasters combines physical construction with spiritual and communal practices. Rituals and shelters are prepared to face floods and storms, reflecting an understanding of the importance of safety and resilience, aligning with the biblical lesson of being prepared to face storms. Symbolism and narratives. African narratives often use metaphors of construction and protection to teach about resilience and wisdom. Similar to the parable of the houses on the rock and sand, which illustrates the importance of a solid foundation and obedience to Jesus' teachings, many African stories emphasize the need for a firm base and preparation to face challenges, highlighting the importance of building a life and community capable of withstanding adversity. The parable of the houses on the rock and sand, found in Matthew 7:24-27, and African cultural practices offer a profound reflection on the importance of building a solid foundation to face life's challenges. Both traditions highlight the need for robust foundations, emphasizing that a firm base is crucial for resilience and the ability to overcome adversity. In the parable, Jesus uses the metaphor of a house built on the rock to illustrate the difference between practicing and merely hearing his teachings. The house on the rock symbolizes the stability and security that come from obedience and application of spiritual principles. In contrast, the house on the sand represents the vulnerability and instability of a life built without practical action on received teachings. The central message is clear. A solid foundation is crucial to withstand the inevitable storms and challenges. Similarly, many African cultures incorporate the idea of a solid foundation into their practices and traditions. In African communities, house and structure construction is often a collective effort, reflecting values of cooperation and solidarity. Traditional construction techniques, such as those used by the Hausa and Yoruba peoples, ensure durability and climate resistance, demonstrating the importance of a solid and reliable foundation. Moreover, African cultural practices often integrate spiritual rituals and ceremonies with physical construction, creating a comprehensive approach to community preparation and safety. Just as in the parable, these practices emphasize the importance of being well prepared for adversity, whether through robust physical foundations or spiritual practices that strengthen community resilience. Thus, both the parable of the houses on the rock and sand and African cultural traditions converge on the idea that a firm foundation is essential for facing life's challenges. They reflect a shared understanding of the importance of preparation, solid construction, and resilience, offering valuable lessons on how to build and maintain a strong foundation to overcome the storms and adversities we encounter.